Guys, I know we've all had marriage therapy where there's been some infidelity or maybe some unfaithfulness. It might not be going all the way, but even an emotional connection with somebody, or even kind of inappropriate meetings and things like that. How do we help somebody trust a spouse after something like that?
Trust is a gift. You give it, and it's a choice that you make. It's not something that's earned, because if you make it into something that's earned, it'll be this perpetual carrot, and also this thing that kind of pins somebody into being guilty. So I like to start by, if we're going to work towards reconciliation after a spouse, start by choosing to trust. If they're not being trustworthy, it's going to come out. Then you're going to know what to do.
What do you think?
There's another thing here that I ask people, and whenever it comes up, is to the person who is cheated on, I ask them, are you staying? And then I ask them if they can forgive. If you can't forgive, and the person that you're with is going to be perpetually guilty for the rest of your marriage, you're going to be a jailer and they're going to be miserable, and it doesn't go well. So you have to ask that question. The other question to the person who cheated is, are you done, and are you staying? And I would say to both of them, pay attention to how accurate they are. Are they done? Do their actions show that they're done? Does all of it go together? Are they still defensive whenever you're asking basic questions? There's information in that.
Yeah, one thing I realized that is, whenever that happens, you see the untrust, and I get it, because people necessarily aren't trustworthy. I think that God is trustworthy, and if you trust God in somebody, it's a lot easier to trust that person. So whenever this kind of thing happens, you really kind of got three options. You can either leave, you can either stay and do nothing, or you can stay and set boundaries for the relationship at that point. And then when you're looking to see, how can I trust this person? Well, I would say look to see God in that person. If that person is not willing to get close to God, then you can't trust that they're not going to do it again. And so I think that it's more about developing a plan to get closer to God together, even that person as an individual, and then you as a couple. And then if you're the person that was cheated on or whatever happened there, just understand that if you see God through them and in them, you can trust that.
Oftentimes I think there's a switch that people have where they see it as two options. I can hold this over this person's head and continue to use it to my advantage, whether it's purposeful or not, or the slate is wiped clean and now I act like it just never happened. Something caused that to happen in the relationship, whether it was a personal issue with the person who cheated, or if it was a relationship barrier where they weren't having intimacy in any way. That needs to be addressed. It's not a wipe the slate clean and act like it never happened. That doesn't fix anything.
In fact, it produces resentment and anger in places that don't make sense, and people look at it and go, why am I so mad? Well, it's because you're emotionally bleeding all over the place. And it's so there's an awareness in the fact that there's a process to it. It doesn't get resolved in a month. I know everybody who's ever been cheated on wants to stop feeling bad quickly, and so they'll come in and they'll do crisis therapy. We'll do 2 or 3 quick sessions of how to know, how to show you're being transparent and how to close the doors on it. And then you're like, well, we're happy, so it's all gone. No, this is an attachment injury. This is a deep injury, and it takes time to work through. Don't quit before the process is through.
Yeah, if you need help with this, you find yourself in this position, come see us. We'd love to help you out.